Hello, my friends. Welcome to my channel. It's been a really busy few months, and I'm happy to be able to record and kind of shine some light. We are all on a shifting journey right now. Those of you that have migrated to this channel, I know you're in a shift too. And shift doesn't necessarily have to be wrong, okay? From what I have experienced in my lifetime of 49 years on this planet, on this specific journey, I have realized that 9 times out of 10, everything happens for the right reason. And it doesn't make change. It doesn't necessarily make, the things that happen to us that we have no control over, which is literally everything. We have no control over everything, anything really. It doesn't make those trying times, it doesn't make it any easier sometimes. What I have found is realizing that having no control over everything and having faith in knowing that this is part of my process, this is what I've been delivered, and what I can learn during this process certainly helps. Doesn't mean I don't grieve, doesn't mean I don't. And I grieve a lot of things. And sometimes I woulda, shoulda, coulda, about things. But now that I've really fallen back into my body, gotten back into my body, know what I want, know what I desire. And even if things hit me that I don't necessarily desire, I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? So one of the reasons I wanted to come back here was because I wanted to talk about the astrology this week. And I think I am being led to talk more about astrology. I've already shuffled and laid out my deck the way I want to do it. I'm doing a spiritual journey spread. And, we might talk about numbers and numerology. I don't know how this is going to unfold. I am an intuitive reader, and I do intuitive astrology as well. And if you would like a service, then please go to my website at www.thequantummagdalene.com. It's in the description box below. I'm also for a very brief time going to offer, in fact, I'm feeling it called that this week, the week of June 7th, to offer a 30-minute reading in astrology. So if you have questions about this week or next, or even the months, I recommend you do the 30-minute reading. I probably will never do that again because I'm here to help transform. I am not here to abide by anyone else's rules. So if we want to transform, there needs to be a lengthy discussion and Q&A and all of that fun stuff. So astrology this week, we have our sun in Gemini. Gemini, the wonderful sign of intuitive technology, speaking, and even travel, like fast moving energy. And then we have Mercury and Venus in Cancer, and they are going to be joined by Jupiter in Cancer on the 9th, which is Tuesday. And we'll get into that a little bit. We have Saturn in Aries right now. We have Uranus in Gemini. So we have the sun and Uranus together. Uranus is the planet of really kind of expanding and blowing up things that just aren't working anymore. And we'll get into that a little bit too. We have Neptune in Aries, which is all about, the journey and philosophy and growing your knowledge. And the fact that it's in Aries, it's like, okay, what do I want? What can I learn about who I want to be and what I want to be? And then we have Pluto in Aquarius right now. And Pluto in Aquarius is really heavy on all of us. And I feel like this is why we are on this journey together. Aquarius is the sign of like social integration, philanthropy. To me, it's really a sign about justice and like what's better for all. It's truly about coming together I think the dark side of that is the fighting the good fight. Like, people think that you have to fight and go to war and, have that, the darker side of things to create change. And sometimes that is very true. So we have that existing at that time with the planet of Pluto, which is, power, transformation. And as it's moving in retrograde, meaning it appears to be moving backwards, it's like revisiting some things that we need to kind of play out. It's going to be in Aquarius until and move into Pisces in like 2043. I almost said 19, because I swear to you, sometimes I feel like I exist on a different timeline. Like, I was literally looking at Pluto in Leo. I don't know why. For like a day, as I was like putting this information together and like writing out my thoughts about it, I had Pluto in Leo. So I don't know what that means. Apparently that was a time. That was a time maybe where I had a massive transformation in another lifetime, because that hasn't existed in many years and before I was born. So Pluto is very much about out with the old and with the new, as Aquarius is. It's actually viruses. It rules waste, reproduction, some of the littler things. It's kind of a higher octave of Mars. So Mars is the action of like doing things. And then Pluto is like, nope, okay, you're not doing enough. We're going to blow this up. Okay. So that is where Pluto acts. So all of us are experiencing a shift. I know personally, I've had shift in philosophy. Aquarius is my 9th house, and I've had a major shift in philosophies regarding a lot of different social networks. I've had a truth and knowledge awareness of, and this is maybe because my Pisces is in my midheaven, Pisces, and seeing the subconscious. I see the truth in a lot of the organizations that claim to be good, but they're not. And, I've had a shift in the way I want to run my life. I'm tired of big box stores and adding more money into those places. I honor people who develop brands and then sell to, who are developing brands, like small creators and curators that want to create a product that's good for people. I'm a huge fan of like skincare and stuff and makeup and like handmade stuff. And I honor those people that like, they make it big. They get their product on the shelf at Target or Walmart, and then they sell to, and make hundreds of millions of dollars. And to me, most of those people that do that end up doing something else creatively and for the better. I call this a conscious wealth movement, and that is what I'm doing with my money. I am no longer putting money into things that are, quote, socially good when I realize they're actually not good at all. I'm putting my money and manifesting my money in ways, even though I don't have a ton of it, like physically, we do not have a ton. My husband has been unemployed for 14 months, and he just got back, and he's making like a quarter of what he ever made. Okay. So we've had a huge shift in like how we're going to do things. So for me, and then me leaving my career too, like my philosophy has been, I've been in question of my career for years, and I loved my career. But when I started seeing the proof of things and people standing in front of me, and because they had a white coat on and they thought they knew more than me, when I literally had a study several studies in front of them saying what we're doing is wrong. And they were like, no, my society told me that, my society of peers told me differently. And I haven't seen that study, so therefore it's not true. Like, there's been a lot. So it's time for change. It's time for truth. And whatever that means to you. And for me, I'm about energy. I'm about currency. And wherever I put my money is where I put my money. And I receive it back. We have been on this train for about 10 years now. And when I look back throughout my life, I've been on this train for 49 years. So from birth until now. So I'm going to do like a collective tarot reading, and then I'm going to move into each sign. I am looking at Western astrology. That's what I've been studying. I've looked into other different types of astrology too, but I just speak intuitively from where that is. So what I would like to talk about is, this is the tarot reading for the collective, and then I will go into each sign and I'll have it stated in my, I'll have it marked so that you guys can go to your tab or whatever. But I'll have all the 12 signs separately, doing readings for them and talking about their astrology too. So this is going to be a long video. And I have air moving, so that means everything is clearing out so I can speak the truth. So I only turned over one card when I dealt, and it's the World card. And really, my shifting journey overall, okay, this is your shifting, you're giving way to endings. You are truly giving away to endings, okay? This is the end and also the beginning. And she's kind of throwing her hat to the wind. And I love this because I feel like many of us are realizing it's right here, it's right here, it's right here, it's in our root, it's in our sacrum, it's in our navel. Like, I feel like we're all realizing everything, especially the feminine collective, it's within. And I feel like this trope of witch is, it's a word that was made up by man to control the women in the community. And I'll just say that. We could do a whole other thing. Mia Magic talks amazingly about the term witch, and I love how she talks about power and control and women in the witch. So Mia Magic, I think she's probably got 80,000 followers or 100,000. I don't know. She's really, really wonderful. I've done a few of her courses. But I just love her philosophy on the term witch, even though she's embodied it. Like, she likes the term witch. I just feel like this particular journey, it's about throwing off that hat and understanding it's within you and that you are divinely supported all the time. Okay, let's talk about, we're going to move to blocks. We keep looking back in the past and the successful parts of the past. Okay. All right. So we keep looking at what we did in the past and go, well, if I just create it again, if I just do what I did 10, 15 years ago, then maybe I'll get that response that I want again. And this is that celebration. You had this massive celebration. I feel like too, if you're a business owner, like, you realize, well, this worked for me last time, so I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to get all the celebration, and I'm going to get that top tier month that I had. And what that's doing is blocking your growth, because right here on the other side is growth and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. I think also you may be looking back at like going, well, I made all that money and I was so creative back then and I made all that money, and so I just need to do it again. Like, I just need to do it again. But what we are saying here is that you have to do different now. Times have changed. Technology has changed. And let's talk for a second about AI. I think AI, I've used it myself. Like, I love to write. I've used like two or three different forms to write. I've thought about, I've used it when I was, writing a book. I was, using it for all kinds of different things. I was like, oh, maybe I can help it, lay out my programming. But what I realized, my gift is not using AI to express my words. My words are my power and my heart and my channel. And I cannot use AI and knowing what the data centers do and all that. It's just wrong. I do think there is a place for it. I'm not here to tell you what place that is. I just know that if you are an intuitive, if you are a creator and you're putting all your money and all your value in AI, you're missing the point. Okay. So let technology take its ride. Remember when the first VCRs came out for all of us oldies? Remember when the first VCR came out, they were like $1,000 and they just didn't function well and they had to like redo them. Let's let the techie people do that. Like, let's let the techie people figure out the snares. I know it's ruining jobs right now as far as like applying for jobs. My husband put in 2,000 job applications. It was ridiculous. And he was passed over many a times. And he's in a space now where it's exactly where he's supposed to be. So yeah, if you're using AI for your creation, maybe take a step back for like a month and see what happens, particularly this week. This week is going to be a very lucky week for many of us. I don't think anybody's going to be hurting this week. So that's good. So looking at all of these blockages, when you look back in the past, yeah, you had the King of Cups. So right under, you looked back in the past and here you have the King of Cups. So with the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles. So you had everything. You had your cake and you wanted to eat it too. And maybe you didn't save the money the way you were supposed to. And maybe that's the lesson you need to learn in that. Maybe you, maybe you overspent. Maybe you took, maybe you didn't invest it wisely. Maybe you didn't, I don't know. There's a lot of things here about the King of Cups and looking back and like looking at the volume that you made. So maybe it's not about the volume. Okay. Looking at the Six of Wands and the blockages. Yeah, you were overworked. So here we have the Four of Swords. So it's almost like in that time when you were looking back and like really successful, you were exhausted. How many of us were like just spinning the wheels and going to everything and working? I have a friend right now that's a pharmacist and she works 12-hour days and she's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, she is at a point, her body cannot tolerate it anymore. And they're like, well, you signed up for this. No, she signed up to help people. And what she's finding is it's not working. It's not working for the people she's trying to help. And it's certainly not working for her. And so she's trying to figure out, like, she's even trying to negotiate now. She's wanting to work in a smaller town that really needs a pharmacist. And she's like, okay, well, let's figure out how I can do like a 6-hour day, because she has to drive like 4 hours two there and two back. She's trying to negotiate and they're like, no, we need you here for 12 hours. And it's like, it's one of those things where she has to put herself first. And the people creating the schedule also have to put themselves, realize that they need some flexibility, that this isn't healthy for anyone. Who does that? That's not healthy for anyone. So having some rest is just as important, and moving forward, like having some rest is just as important as having the work time and the physical application of the work time. With the Empress, we have the Three of Wands. So it looks like to me, we have these ideas and we start moving forward. And we start creating, and then there's probably some burnout here. I have a feeling one of these is going to be a burnout for sure. Let me look at the next one here. Yeah. We get these ideas and then we get this one massive idea, and it's like, it's logical. Like, and you're like, it's logical that I should do it this way, but it doesn't like feel right. And I can't say this enough. Like, this is an ongoing thing with everybody that I have been reading for. It's like, they're like, but AI is supposed to be great, and AI is supposed to like fix everything as far as my writing goes, and everything. AI is supposed to help me with my programming, and AI is supposed to read all of the resumes that come in. but it's not working. Like, it feels wrong. Like, I don't even know if you notice, like when I would put something in there, my whole body would shift like an octave down. Like if I would put it in my computer or my laptop, or if I would put it in my phone, my whole body would just like, and that was the energy pull, like literally sucking energy out of me. So I feel like the best idea is going to come to you when you're at rest and you make time for rest every day. And rest means unplugging, getting in the trees, getting in the ground, having some play, like mindless play time, basically, where you're not learning something, you're not listening to a podcast or, trying to learn more about this or that, like literally unplugging. And that's, in fact, another person was like, I just don't know what I want anymore. And I keep trying and I keep trying this and trying different things. But sometimes you don't need to try. You just need to stop. My greatest wisdom comes first thing in the morning. I get up at 3:00 in the morning. I am awakened at 3:00 in the morning every morning. And I sit in the quiet and in the dark for a long time. I drink my coffee. I listen to the trees. I listen to the birds. I listen to my house. My house talks. So spending that quiet time is really going to help you move forward with this shift that we're having. All right, so general advice. We have the 5 of Pentacles. So this is saying you need to make a change. There's a challenge, there's an instability in what you're doing, and you need to make a change. That means you either need to stop resting, because I was immediately drawn to the resting card, the 4 of Swords. But I truly feel like this is like this is again saying you need to make a change. You can't do it the way you used to do it at all. Like that's not going to be the support for you. And it's going to feel like a challenge and it's going to feel like instability, but just trust. Remember, I said you have to trust because logically it's not going to make sense. And especially if you're looking at, manifesting dreams, not even putting a number on, I need $7 million. Well, what if Spirit has, 30 million in store for you? Do you want to block the 30? So, saying, more than enough, more than, whatever it is that you're trying to build here, you need to change what you're doing, which doesn't mean just because you work more doesn't mean you make more. In fact, I feel like God shows you if you work harder, see, that was the lie they taught us. If you work harder, then you're supposed to get more. So if you work more hours, we'll pay you more hourly. But your body is broken. Like you can't even think for yourself because you're so exhausted. So that'll be the challenge. The challenge will be coming into your body and just having faith that what the work you're supposed to do, you're not supposed to burn out on. Like you're supposed to do it for a little bit and then be like, okay, take a break. So yeah. So something is coming back around again that maybe you had kind of put on a shelf because you're like, that'll never work. I do feel like, again, it's intuition over logic at this point. And yeah, the Emperor. So your focus should be change. Your focus should be change. Change what you're doing. If you're working too hard, stop working so hard. Take time to be quiet. Make your personal health a responsibility. Okay. It'll keep coming back to you. You'll keep coming back to this lesson over and over and over again if you don't make the changes like now. Okay. You'll just keep learning the lesson. It's like when I talk with my clients who are looking at dating and people who they want to date. I mean, there's been a point where they've shown me people like in their roster, like maybe there's 2 or 3 people that they are considering dating, and it's literally the same man, just a different face. And it's like, no, this is not the energy you want, though. This is not the energy you want. And they're like, oh, but so-and-so, da, da, da. I'm like, but this is exactly what you left behind. You know, this is the person that you left the relationship. This is just a different face. Like, literally look at it. And then they're like, oh, so it is. It's about doing something different. If only for today, you need to focus on exactly what you want. And if you don't know what you want, that's the time to get quiet. That's the time to sit in the trees and write. You have to write to get the block out. You have to write because that is like the physical action of moving energy through your mind chakras, okay? Your crown, your vision, your voice. Like, your writing is that air movement. So it's time for you to figure out what it is you want. And sometimes you need to focus on the feeling. Like, you know, what would be your perfect day? Waking up in the morning, without a clock, getting your coffee, doing XYZ, maybe it's a lover, like maybe you have animals, maybe you tend to your garden, like all of those things. When you think about the things that make you happy and the things that make your life juicy, like that creates the connection, that creates the frequency that you're trying to attract. Okay, so really focus right now in this week on what you want, because the planets will tell you, as I go into your rising signs, the planets will tell you like how this is going to work. Okay, your weakness. You don't want to let go. We have the 5 of Cups. You don't want to let go of the dream that you were trying to build. Okay? You don't want to let go of the old, because you're like, and I can tell you, like us, Gen Xers, like we have a really hard time. We had the best of everything. We really did. I feel like we did. And, we got to see a lot of political stuff. We got to see, some of the dark side of fame and the dark side of war and the dark side, but we got to see a lot of really great things too. And I feel like we keep thinking that needs to come back, but it doesn't. There is something better on the horizon. So you got to let go to make room for what's coming in for you. Again, you keep holding on to this dream of something, of someone or something coming back to you. You're going to miss out on so many wonderful things that do come because you're not focused on your deep desire in the plan for yourself. So that's a huge thing. Your strength right now is your alone time. The Hermit. The Hermit. Your strength right now is that Virgo, gathering your thoughts, being at one with nature, listening to your inner wisdom. Like that is your strength right now. And instead of trying to, bulldoze an idea that might work for a little bit, why not be a little more patient for the juicy one? Like the juicy idea that makes your life feel amazing, that makes your bank account grow, that makes your friend circle grow. Like, why not just wait? So that is the general tarot reading for this week. So, all right. So what happened was I started doing the individual readings and I've been tripped up. And what's telling me is I've started it 2 more times. And what it's telling me is you need to stop here. So I'm going to draw 1 more card for the general collective. If you would like a personal reading, please reach out to me. I just heard enough. So I'm just going to do 1 more, looking at the shadow side of this. And that card is the divine design and the unknown. So you have to get really comfortable with the unknown. as I am right now too. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any individual readings anymore. I just feel like, one-on-one is definitely my gig, and doing a general reading is the overall consensus for people who I'm attracting. Okay. So your divine design and the unknown, you really need to embrace that. And again, we need to come back to knowing in your body where to find the answer and how to get to the space where you can find the answer within your body. So have a wonderful week. I hope that you can stay open and understand that what is happening is actually for the greater good, and that you will build if you choose to throw away a little bit of the logic. So thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Namaste.